Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Morgan Phoenix coming to you from Stanley, Virginia. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, Easter Sunday. It's been rainy today and windy, also sunny this morning, and a beautiful church service. So I hope you've had a good day and a good Easter weekend, hopefully with family and with friends around you. Remember, it's a season of promise, of redemption, but also of sacrifice. And we're called to sacrifice. We're called to be servant leaders. Are we not? Alrighty, here we go. Week 5. This is going to be a very, very brief, an ultra brief video because more and more the terrain becomes familiar to you all, and it's beginning to become more familiar to me too. I appreciate very, very much your patience with me as the assignments unfold because these are new to me, and I have neither graded nor commented in the way that I really would prefer to. It seems to be very, very much of a summary of your work more than a line by line. And I appreciate what you've done so far. It's very high quality. It's a good bunch of students in the class here, and I'm enjoying it. But very briefly, and I'll enjoy reading your first synthesis paper and see how that goes. I also will grade that in a summary fashion, and if there is something that is glaring, that is missing, or that is superb, either way, I'll make a special comment. But do please read my comments in the markup. I put them there for a reason. Alrighty. And also, I would ask that you do a good proofreading of anything you turn in. It's good practice to really look through, and there are certain words that spell check will not find properly for you because there are multiple spellings that actually are correct spellings yet not appropriate to what it is you're trying to say. Always do a really careful, and for endings of words as well, because the spell check will not find them for you. Okay, for this coming week, week 5, you have a discussion board forum. I'd like you to look at the video in discussion board. There's no requirement anymore for you to respond to the video, but if you like to, that's fine. It lightens my day a little bit too. And you also have another article chapter assessment that's due. Your best source of information concerning those two things is to look back to any comment that I might have made in your earlier assessment. Alrighty? Looking ahead, the one thing to look ahead to that is really critical, and this will be a learning piece for some of you. Most of you probably know all about PowerPoint production. And in week 7, you will be doing these similar sort of synthesis that you've done this week in the paper format, the text format. But for week 7, you're going to do it in a PowerPoint. And there is a single lesson that must be learned here. Okay, you can go in and look at the rubric. It's very, very clear, very, very simple to see the rubric in your course content for the synthesis presentation. Okay, the rubric for that. And there are 45 of the points has to do with slide elements and design. And this is the one thing that I'm really a stickler on, and that when you catch on to this, and many of you already know perhaps, the nature, the balance between the graphics or the representations on the screen that the audience sees, and the notes that are hidden from view in the speaker's notes in your PowerPoint construction. Make sure that you understand about speaker's notes. It's down at the bottom, and it's a whole piece of the formatting there that allows you to give yourself notes to look at as you are presenting your PowerPoint, so that you are speaking but your audience is captivated by what they see on the screen. And words on the screen, you know this. You've seen PowerPoints. You've seen 30-slide PowerPoints that are nothing but text, and we read from slide to slide to slide, or rather, we don't. Yeah, we follow along while the presenter reads, and it is mighty boring. Okay, but if you can do what the rubric asks you to do, and it says right here, template fits targeted audience well, visually interesting, numerous uses of images. Okay, that's to get the full 45 points. If you don't do that, I will grade you at the very maximum. I'll grade you at the minimum end of the proficient level here, because if you put good text on the screen, I'll give you 22 points instead of the 45. But you want to be you're in the advanced class here. There's no excuse for missing the boat on this one. It says for the proficient level, limited use of images and so on. Okay, if you only put very basic, a single image on the screen there, and then give a few points about it, that's not really what we're supposed to be doing here. You're supposed to capture your audience with what, and the image, of course, has to be related to what you're talking about. but it could either be graphic representation in the form of pie charts or of graphs of various kinds, or of diagrams, or of maps, or images of persons, of students in classes, teachers, and so on. Use your own imagination here. And I love to grade high on this. I love to cite you for really understanding that balance, that artistic balance between capture of an audience and passing out information to them. Okay, and if you get the two together, you have really won your audience, and you've made your name for yourself, and you will be the expert in the room, because you'll be the person talking, and they will be the audience will be truly gathering in what you are saying that is in relation to what's on the screen here. So look at the rubric there very, very carefully. I will grade this one closely, and with regard to the slide elements and design, I will grade low in this case if you really don't acknowledge this advanced box here and what that really means there. And go back and look at some PowerPoints that are being presented to you, and there are good ones and there are bad ones. Alrighty, and you want to be doing the really proficient ones. That's it for me for today. If you have any questions, put it in the Ask Dr. Phenix, and I'm really enjoying the course more and more as I become a little bit more accustomed to it. If I make any flubs along the way, in terms of grading, I will have graded on the high end of the scale, just to be sure that I'm not penalizing you for my own shortcomings. Alrighty, and that's it for today. It's Easter Sunday. Here's Grace. This is Gracie, and Easter is all about grace and about unmerited favor and unwarranted benefit from the sacrifice of our Lord. Alrighty, leave it at that. Beautiful Sunday, Easter Sunday, and I wish you all well. We'll see you next time, Lord willing. Bye-bye.